attorney Troy Tyson coming to you from Greenwood, Indiana. It is November 10th, and I'm going to be talking today about what you should do to prepare for court. A lot of people, when they are going to court for the first time, or maybe even if they've been to court before, a lot of people get very nervous. They get very intimidated, very fearful about the process. They don't know exactly what to expect or what they should do or how they should behave. So hopefully this short video will help you get your mind around the process and know what to expect and know what you can do to prepare. So the first thing is, before we begin, you need to know that everything matters. As in so many other things in life, when you go to court, everything matters. Your knowledge of the case, uh, what you wear to court, the way you behave in court, the way you treat the people in the court, the way you treat the opposing party, everything matters. And the sooner and the more that you embrace that, the better off you're going to be. And that goes down to details. And certainly your attorney hopefully has the same attitude as well, because when they go into court, everything matters as well. What they're wearing, how they treat the court staff, the level of detail in their preparation, all of those things matter. All those little things can add up to have a major impact on the outcome of your hearing or your trial. So just keep that in mind. The second thing is preparation is key. Again, as with so many things in life, preparation is key. Spend a lot of time doing your homework, and we'll get into that later, but have that mindset that you're going to do whatever's necessary to spend a lot of time on the case and to be fully prepared going in there. And that will alleviate a lot of the fears that you experience. The more you prepare, the more you practice ahead of time, the more you get to know your case, you will find that that will really do more than anything to reduce the fear of going into the hearing before you get there. The third thing is your attitude is really important. Uh, if you have the attitude of respect and civility and courtesy, and you carry that with you when you go into court, and even when you're dealing with the other parties outside of court, that's going to help you out a lot. It won't necessarily take away your fear, but it will help you gain credibility in the eyes of your attorney, the judge, the court staff, the opposing party. It really builds your credibility. So those little things matter. So getting into the details, the first thing is you want to learn your case as much as possible. Okay. And a lot of people, what they do is they leave, leave that job to the attorney. And that's what you're paying the attorney to do. So certainly the attorney should be doing the bulk of the work here. The attorney should be doing a lot of the things that you're not trained to do. Yet and still, you should know your case inside and out. You should know all the major points of it. You should know what your weak points are. Certainly know what your strong parts are, and you just want to know as much as you can about your case. Spend some time really doing your homework and studying through all the documents, especially if you've got a case of significantly large size. Spend your time going through those documents, through those court orders, through those motions, through the history, the criminal report, whatever it may be. Go through that in detail. Know what the other side has and know what they're coming with. And also know what you have, know what the assets of your case are as well, so that you'll be better able to present them. Second thing, spend time with your attorney going over the details. Okay, and most attorneys, if they're good attorneys, if they're experienced attorneys, are going to initiate this process for you. But you definitely want to have a couple of consultations with your attorney where you're just sitting down, going through everything piece by piece, having them explain the different pieces to you, and having them explain how everything fits together and where everything fits in the overall puzzle of your case. That would be very important. And the last thing under this section is to prepare thoroughly from every angle of your case. Your attorney, hopefully, at least this is the way that I handle my clients. I'm kind of harsh with my clients. I really focus on the weaknesses in their case. I focus on positives too, but I really focus on the weaknesses in their case. And I press them hard, and I press them hard if there are holes there or if there are unflattering things in their case. I push them because I'd rather me do it ahead of time than for them to be in court and face a very aggressive opposing attorney for the first time and not have the experience of having gone through that before. So hopefully your attorney will really thoroughly prepare you on the strengths and the weaknesses of your case. But if he does not, and if he or she does not initiate that, then you take the initiative. A lot of attorneys may be extremely busy and maybe they're not giving your case the time that you think it deserves. Well, you initiate that process and say, hey, I want to come in. I want to go through all these details. I've done my homework. I have some questions. I want to clear some things up and make that happen. The next thing is your dress. Your dress is very important. It's really shocking to me how often I go into court and see the opposing party uh, just dressed down in jeans sometimes, or like they're going, to a picnic. It's 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 pretty surprising that attorneys would allow their clients to go into court like that. I tell my clients if you're going, if I would prefer that you wear your Sunday best. That's a suit. That's very high business casual, something like that, suit and tie. You're going into a place of respect, of dignity, and you should treat it that way. Now, you don't have to dress up like your attorney necessarily, but I really feel like most clients should go in there looking very polished and dressed up essentially. And if you don't want to do the Sunday best, if you don't feel like putting on a full suit, at least go business casual. A nice casual shirt, a nice casual pants, dress shoes. Don't go in tennis shoes. Obviously sandals, something like that. Don't go in there. Most courts are not going to kick you out for that. But again, it goes to your credibility. It goes to the attitude that you're bringing into court, and it matters. Those little things, they matter. Also, be professional and be mannerable in the way that you handle yourself in court. And we'll get into some of the other details down here as to what that looks like. But just have an attitude of professionalism. You're not the attorney. That's a given. But still, you should carry that level of dignity and respect in there with you. And that should show in your dress. That should show in your demeanor. That should show in the way that you approach and engage with other people. Again, this stuff matters. So the next thing deals with how you approach and how you deal with the judge and the court staff. When it comes to court staff, number one rule, be very nice to court staff. Attorneys learn this very early on in their practice because we have to. We deal with court staff so often. We learn that lesson either the hard way or we have someone tell us early on in our careers. You got to be very nice to these people. Now, you will not be dealing with them on a regular basis for as long as your attorney will be, but still, you'll be dealing with these people at some level throughout the case, and it's just going to help you, kind of smooth that process. And again, it goes to building your credibility. You want to be seen as a reasonable, mature person, and that's gonna really raise your credibility. So, be very nice to them. Know that they have a very tough court staff. They have a very tough job to do. It's very frustrating. It's very stressful. They're dealing with some of the worst, in some cases, some of the worst cases or incidents that you can imagine on a regular basis. So it's a stressful job, and they get frustrated. So your kindness, your courtesy, your professionalism will go a long way. When it comes to the judge, be very respectful of the judge. Okay. We live in America. This is a democracy. We don't have royalty. We don't have anything like that. But so when those judges take those robes off, they're just like you and me. And I'm not suggesting that you should treat them as if they're royalty. But when they put those robes on, they represent the court and they represent the law. And that comes with you should assume that comes with a high amount of dignity that's worthy of respect. And you should show that. And it's shocking to me how many clients don't show that they don't have any sense of the dignity of the court. You need to have that. Again, it's not going to win your case for you, but it will lend you a lot of credibility in the eyes of the judge and in the eyes of any other people who are involved in the case. Next, I want to talk about your behavior in court. So I would divide this under two areas. The first one is when you're being questioned, how should you behave? And the second one is when you're not being questioned. When you're being questioned, you want to understand this process and what it looks like before you go into court. And again, this goes back to your attorney largely. Hopefully, he will have walked you through this step by step. You will have done some practice, direct exam and cross exam, and just to give you a sense of what it feels like. Hopefully, your attorney's done all that. If not, again, you initiate that process. But I really spend time with my clients drilling them to get them used to the court environment, because in no other time in our lives, and for normal people, for lay people rather, and no other time in your normal life are you exposed to something like this, other than possibly a very intense interview for a job or something like that. You're not exposed to direct examination, and certainly not cross examination. So it's new for most people when they get in there. And if you're not fully prepared, you're probably going to crack, or you're going to get flustered. Um, so the more you prepare, the more you practice on your own and just prepare and know your case, the better off you're going to be. So make sure that you're prepared for that, and understand how the court dynamics work, who goes first, what is direct examination, what is cross examination, when do I go, when will I be called, will you get called? Understand those things. Okay. The the next part is relax. And a big part of relaxing is the preparation. Know your case, know what the process looks like, know what to expect, and relax. When you get on the stand, it's very important for you to relax. It's going to be very difficult for some people because it is a very intense, very intimidating process. Yet and still, it's important that you do that, because if you're not relaxed, it, it looks bad. It calls into question your credibility, rightly or wrongly. It does. And it will sometimes push you into giving very bad answers. So this comes into play, especially on cross-examination. You're going to be examined by your attorney, which is a friendly format for you. You'll be able to express yourself and tell your side of the story, but you're going to be cross-examined by the opposing attorney, and depending on how aggressive they are, it may not be a very pleasant experience. And if you're not prepared mentally, if you're not prepared on the facts of your case, if you don't have knowledge and understanding of the process, you're going to get intimidated, and it's going to be a very bad experience for you. So prepare ahead of time, study, practice, and relax when you get on the stand, because it will help you out tremendously. The next thing, be honest. Tell the truth. There's going to be a temptation to curb the truth, to give less than the truth, to hedge the facts. Don't do it. Be honest, because if the opposing attorney is good, they're going to find a way to call you on it, and then you're going to look horrible before the court. You should know going in, almost all cases are two-sided. Each side has their own story, and almost all cases have at least some weaknesses. You're going to have unflattering parts in your case, more than likely. Be honest about it. Just get it out there. And if your attorney is skilled and capable, they'll be able to defend against whatever weaknesses in your case there are, or protect you against the holes in your case. So you let them handle that. As far as you go, you tell the truth. Um, and not to mention, not telling the truth is a crime. It's perjury. The last thing, be respectful to all parties, including the opposing party and including the opposing attorney. Little things, the small things, they matter. Uh, it's not going to win your case, the fact that you're respectful to the opposing attorney, but it will help you in terms of your credibility, in terms of the way that you're seen by the court. It's going to help you. Okay. The next thing is when you're not being questioned. And I explain to my clients very often, when you're not being questioned is almost as important as when you are being questioned. When you're not being questioned, the number one rule is be quiet. Be quiet. And you'd be shocked at how difficult this is for so many clients. Because usually when you're in a trial, especially if it's a family law trial, or if it's a business deal gone wrong or something like that, you're obviously emotional. You have an emotional investment in subject matter. It's probably been dragging on for months or years possibly, and you probably don't have a favorable opinion of the opposing party, and it's very easy to get lulled into making little gestures while the opposing party is up, making snide little comments, things like that, to express your discontent with that person. Don't do it. Hopefully your attorney will have prepared you to shut that down, but don't do it. It makes you look really bad. It is very embarrassing to your attorney if it gets out of line, and you may be reprimanded by the court, which is embarrassing and diminishes your credibility. Again, little things matter. So be quiet, stay there, be respectful, and use that time to collect information from the other side. because while the other side is up, or while another witness is up, or another whoever is testifying at that time, whatever's going on, that's an opportunity for you to learn and to glean more information, which may help your case. And so if you find something valuable, if you see something or hear something that you think is valuable, pass it on to your attorney. Whisper it in his or her ear, or write it on a note, pass it to them. So you should be quiet, you should be listening, you should be respectful of the court, and you should be trying to glean whatever extra information you find that might be helpful to your case to pass it on to your attorney. Okay, so hopefully all those things were helpful for you. Remember that we have a great legal system, and in 99.9% of the cases, a court hearing is nothing to be intimidated by or afraid of. Just prepare, get with your attorney, know the facts, and know the process, and that will help alleviate a lot of the intimidation that most clients feel when they go into court. And just know that this is not legal advice. This does not establish an attorney-client relationship. But if you have other questions or you'd like legal assistance, you can give us a call at 317-514-2681 at the Tyson Law Firm. Thank you.